Taylor, is that you, baby girl?
It is me.
Yay! Round of applause, Taylor Chandler on the phone.
Yeah.
We had to fucking ramp up Ferguson because we were trying to get a hold of you.
Story.
Yeah, and the fucking story is atrocious right now. So we'd rather talk to you, with your beautiful everything. We'd rather talk to you and put some sunshine on this. By the way, first things first. Happy birthday!
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well,
it started off wonderful.
I heard that you had a very nice time here in the city. I heard that you went out. I heard that you had a dandy old time hanging out with your wonderful PR people. Taylor Chandler on the phone, who has been in a world of controversy and pop culture and science and everything else going on in the world, where you've taken the world by storm because of the stories that are going around about you and everything else that is going on about your relationship with Micheal Phelps and all that great stuff. Now, I do have to go into this because we did ask. You were born, obviously this is where the story segues, but because unlike the Inquirer and everything else, because we've been discussing this all morning before having you on, you were born intersex, am I correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay, we have a checklist. Let's make sure. So that's correct. Intersex, Joe. We're right. Okay. Now, what that means is that you had a penis but no testicles and a vagina but no ovaries. Am I correct?
Kind of. What it meant is I had a penis, but there was a slit on the back of it that was closed. I had no testicles, but I had a uterus. I didn't have ovaries.
Okay, so you have a uterus, no ovaries. So you have a nice vajayjay. The vagina's there. Okay. Just to double check, everybody. She's got a good vag.
I'm ready.
I've heard that it's gold medal.
Yeah, she has a gold medal vag. Right out of the pool, man. Right out of the pool, giving it in there. No chlorine problems is what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
All right, so now you got a working vagina. You had a now, did you have like a fully functioning penis? Or was it just like a piece of skin flapping there?
Kind of in the middle. It was, I guess it could have passed for almost a big clitoris.
Just like mine.
Or
I don't have a giant cock, so it might be the exact same thing. I might have what she had, Joe. I might be intersex. Who the fuck knows?
I've always suspected.
I do. Did your clitoris shoot out semen? Because mine did too. Just asking.
Nope.
Oh,
Most intersex people are sterile.
There you go.
Don't produce anything.
Oh, so I'm not intersex, Joe. I just have a small dick. That's all it is.
Okay.
Just write that down. All right, so go ahead. So you have no semen shooting out. You're sterile. Go ahead.
Correct.
Now, did it grow in time, though? Or, when did you get it lopped off?
In my early 20s.
All right, so you're in your 20s. So you had this for a while, obviously. You had it for at least 20 years that you had this penis. Now, did it get hard? I don't even know how that works.
No, probably more so because of the medication I took, testosterone blockers, estrogen enhancers, so that really wasn't an issue. And, even back then, I didn't tell people. Not to say men are stupid, but, when it's dark and it's warm and it's inviting, it is what it is.
Oh, absolutely. If you had a fucking tree trunk down there, I'd still fuck you. I don't give a shit. You look beautiful. I'm just asking. I don't know. Trust me, we're all learning this together. Everyone's trying to figure this out. We're all trying to understand what it is. Because to me, I think this is the first time I've ever heard of this.
Well, see, back in the day, people would use the blanket term hermaphrodite.
Like Joe. Joe uses hermaphrodite all the fucking time. That's Joe back here. Joe says hermaphrodite no matter what.
Well, I mispronounce it. It's
No, that's kind of politically incorrect. Now,
yeah,
intersex,
Joe.
Underneath it, there's probably 30 or more variations of.
Well, because isn't hermaphrodite, wait, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't hermaphrodite, you have to have, working sex organs. You got to have, testicles and shit and ovaries or whatever.
Maybe back in the day, that's the way they would deem it, but now they prefer the word intersex, which can mean a variation of different things. It's kind of like most people aren't in this position where they have to explain where they fall on the spectrum. Intersex is just kind of a catch-all phrase.
Okay.
for me, because of the situation, I felt like, the tabloids were harassing me so much, this story was going to come out regardless. So for me to hold back any part of the truth would have left me still open. So I had to tell the truth about everything, which was difficult.
Oh, absolutely. I would think it would be. I can't say it wouldn't be because after all, you have like the National Enquirer was saying that you were born a man, which is not the fucking case at all. That's not how it works. You weren't born a man. You were born a woman who happened to have some extra accoutrements down there. That's all it really was. You weren't born a dude, because if you were born a dude, you would have a working penis with a ball sack. You know what I mean? Like you would have testicles. That would make you a man. I mean, you didn't have that.
She's much too beautiful.
But see, some intersex people do have that. I mean, it's almost we're born in a situation where, depending on how our brain differentiated in the first trimester, we can go either way. We almost like have a choice.
Wait, explain to me that. Your body, I know your body makes the choice, like through the chromosomes and the XY chromosome and the XX chromosome and all that. But what you're saying is that your body and your brain development chose both, is what you're saying.
No. For me, it didn't. I definitely knew I was a girl from the moment I could talk.
Oh, yeah.
But some people that are intersex don't feel that there's a need to have any kind of corrective surgery. They're very comfortable, in the way they were born. I compare it to deaf people being called hearing impaired. They prefer deaf or hard of hearing. There's nothing wrong with them per se that needs fixing. And there's a large group of intersex people that feel the same way. They're happy being, in the spectrum where they are, and they don't care to change anything. And some don't identify as male or female. Some identify as one or the other and have, variations. They're both parts. So it's much broader than anyone could imagine. The difference is they don't talk about it. Most of us live stealth, so to speak. So, it's not something that's talked about. It's been, we're like the new taboo. In the 70s and 80s, no one talked about being gay. Then it was in the 80s that it started to come out. People would talk about transsexuals. Then that evolved into transgender. We're kind of like the last frontier, but most intersex people don't feel the need to discuss it. So I've gotten a lot of people saying they're just so supportive and they're so happy because, even though I didn't choose this, it gave me kind of a platform to talk about something so that something good can come of all this craziness that's happening to me now.
Well, of course, because you're showing that there is a beyond, like you're not limited to what is there is the point. You can change. You can fix what would be looked at as by society as just a problem. You can fix the issue and make sure that you can have a normal everyday life.
I mean, the way I was born is medically diagnosed.
Yeah. It's
in the DSM-3. It's not a psychological condition. It is truly a medical condition that's diagnosed.
No, I totally agree. I think that you had the surgery in your mid-20s, you were saying, to remove the penis. All right. Now, question is, were you sexually active before then or no?
Yes.
Now, how did that work? Explain that to me, because that's got to be an amazing story the first time that happened.
I guess I was crafty. I didn't tell people then either. And
how did they not know?
I don't know. I guess you just don't. Prior to surgery, there was like one person that I was involved with long term that actually knew, but never saw anything that he didn't need to see. Other than that, I just didn't tell people.
And I can understand because you're a piece of ass. I understand how Micheal Phelps is attracted to you. I get that. Now, how did we meet Micheal Phelps? Because a lot of people saying in the report that we heard from overseas, from a lot of British tabloids, were saying that you met on Tinder. Is that true?
Absolutely true. And he pursued me. My parameters were set up where he was under the age of what I would come into my feed. But what I've learned about Tinder is if someone younger likes you, then they kind of sneak them into your feed. And, you know, my dad is a famous jockey, so when I saw his initial picture, I knew it was a racetrack. I knew it was the grandstand. Turned out that he was at the Preakness in the photo.
Okay.
And to be quite honest, I didn't believe it was him. Even though there was 5 pictures, there was people in all of them. There was like none of just him himself. They were all photos you could see online. And so it was like, whatever, you know, we're chatting. This was like mid-August. And I want to say he was finishing up some kind of competition for swimming. At the time I was traveling, you know, doing my thing with sign language interpreting, traveling, doing training on ethics and mental health related to interpreting. And so when I got back, then we started talking on Tinder, and the conversation went well. And then one day I had to go somewhere, and I didn't have Tinder on my phone. It was on my iPad.
Yeah.
So I was like, here's my number, call me. And once he texts first, because I have a background in crisis management, it was easy enough for me to run his number. And certainly enough, it was Micheal Phelps. And I was like, well, I'll be damned.
I'll be damned.
So that's when we started talking and texting, and, you know, we were planning to meet, and then that got canceled because of work. And then we finally made it together, and he's just an amazing person. And the thing about it is they've done everything. We did not go to a Baltimore Ravens game. I did not screw him at a Baltimore Ravens game.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. That was going to be my next question. I was like, did we make the leap? How did we get to the Baltimore Ravens game, and how did we fuck them? But I'm guessing that didn't happen. And now, if you were to fuck him at the Baltimore Ravens game,
I'm disappointed, though.
Yeah, we had a bet going on. Was it in a skybox, or you think you would have fucked him right in the seats? Which one would you have done?
He has a skybox.
Danny wins. Danny had skybox. Danny had skybox. I would think because it's Micheal Phelps, you know what I mean? Like, because he's, you know, well known and everything else, he would probably get great seats for the game, and then he would just have, you know, Taylor sit on his lap, and magically his penis would go swimming in the deep end of her pool, you know what I'm saying? And do a couple of laps right there in the seats, because that's been done at 9 million sporting events, so I wouldn't think it would.
But not by a celebrity.
Well, how do you know? They never got caught. They never got caught.
There would have been pitches.
I'm just saying. All right. So now, when did let's put it this way. Have you had sex with Micheal Phelps?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So you were in a relationship with Micheal Phelps. How long was the relationship? Is it still going on?
Like I said, we started talking in August. We started seeing each other in mid-September. And then he got the DUI September 30th. That's the night that they saw me leaving his house. Then later, you know, crying hysterically, getting in the Uber, which is what broke the story in the first place. At that point, the media deemed me his girlfriend. Then I was his cougar girlfriend. Things with us were so new. You know, we'd never really had that conversation. I mean, we were seeing each other. We were together. We talked every day. When he got ready to leave for rehab, you know, I specifically asked him, I said, is whatever this is with us, are we still good? Because 2 stories had come out. It was stressful. And he was like, absolutely, we're fine. It's just I'm not going to have my phone for a while. And then, of course, the reason for that is he went to rehab.
Yeah, because you can't have any contact,
right? Email
right?
address so I could keep in touch with him. I think he thought he'd have access to it sooner than he probably did. But, you know.
Taylor, thank you for being on the program. Thank you for clearing up all the bullshit. Thank you for telling everybody in the world what actually is going on. And I hope you two lovebirds do get back together.
Yes.
Honestly.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
We love you, girl. You be good. Anytime you want to come back, you know you're welcome, baby.
Absolutely.
Oh, love it. Thank you guys.
Big kisses.
Big kisses back.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye, baby.
Bye-bye.
I'd fuck the shit out of her.